Thank you for joining us for another episode of Cryptocurrent. Just one quick reminder. Cryptocurrent is a cryptocurrency and blockchain education platform that's bridging the gap between the curious newcomers who are just discovering the space and the thought leaders who are shaping its future. All opinions expressed by Richard Carthon, the Cryptocurrent team, and their guests on this show are exclusively their own opinions. You should not treat any opinion expressed by Richard, the team, and their guests as a specific inducement to make a particular investment or to follow his financial advice. This show and any other Cryptocurrent production is exclusively for informational purposes.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Cryptocurrent. Your host here, Richard Carthon. And today I have a very special guest all the way out in Cape Town working on a really cool decentralized exchange that is coming to revolutionize a lot of the things that are happening out in Web3. We have Hanres, who is the CEO of NeoNomad. How are you doing today?
Richard, thanks for inviting us. Really excited to be here. Yeah, there's a lot going on currently in the world of cryptocurrencies and decentralized finance and fintech, and exciting times in the future. But, we've had a rough time up till now this year, markets being bearish, but we believe this is actually a great time to innovate and to develop and build out on our ecosystem while the market recovers so we can be ready for the next move. So, yeah, thanks for having me.
Of course, and absolutely. You brought up a lot of really good points, which is now's the time to build during these bearish times. And that's exactly what y'all have been doing. And we're going to unpack a lot of that in a moment. But first, let's learn a little bit more about you. Can you give us some background on yourself?
Yeah, Richard. So I started out my journey. Let me start as a young kid in high school. My dream always was to, and I don't know why, I just found the stock markets quite fascinating. And like some kids dream of becoming a fireman or a policeman, I dreamt of becoming a rock star trader. And I started trading equities age 15. My parents opened equity accounts for me. So that's where my journey started. And slowly from there, moved from equity trading to futures and options. And then later on, I tackled what's the most, according to me, the most difficult to get under your belt, and that's foreign exchange trading. I launched my hedge fund in 2013. It's an international fund, and still managing that. But towards the end of this year, I'll be closing that fund, and I'll launch a new crypto and fintech-based hedge fund. After high school, I'm tracking back now again. I had a short stint for about 2 years as a professional sprinter. So I lived in Europe for 2 years, doing 60-meter indoor sprinting, and had big dreams to hopefully go to the Olympics in 2004. That was cut short by injuries. Then I went into the property market for 6 or 7 years as well, managing developments and properties, which I believe I'm glad I did, because that will aid us now in future tokenizing properties and developments and, bring housing to the globe in a different way. So that helped a lot. And my crypto journey since Bitcoin officially came or launched and became big from 2010 onwards, I followed the crypto industry and cryptocurrencies very closely. But it took me some time, actually, to properly become enthusiastic about it. I don't like building or investing in any products that I don't really understand 110% how it's put together. So I did a lot of research. And I'd say around 2017, 2018 was when I started making my first investments and trades in crypto. And from 2019, I was fully convinced and I saw the big picture. And yeah, the rest is history. I dove into this rabbit hole of cryptocurrencies and blockchain and fintech. And I find myself very deep into this hole now. And, I think I can call myself now a blockchain and crypto prophet because I really believe in that. I believe that the blockchain is the future where everything is going. And if you miss that, I think you're quite naive, to be quite honest.
Yeah, well, thanks for the extensive background. It's really cool to see you be able to go from the traditional world of exchange, working with equities, and also learn about forex, learn about real estate. You have a lot of great background and the traditional markets that helps you to take a lot of those skills and knowledge into now the world of Web3, applying DeFi and tokenization to a lot of these traditional Web 2 type of opportunities, even Web 1. So you get into the market around 17, 18, you go down the rabbit hole, and now you are like all in. You are saying this is the future. And, I firmly believe that as well. But along the way, you come into this and you're like, okay, I want to start this company. I want to start NeoNomad. So what made you want to start it, and explain to us, what is NeoNomad?
So, Richard, let's first start with the actual word, NeoNomad, and what it means to us and how we see it fitting into our ecosystem. So the first part of the word neo is quite a new word, and it's a word that's been doing around, I saw lately. And the meaning to us, it means a new beginning, neo, maybe a new age, referring to what I believe we're going through now as the fourth industrial revolution. So that's the first part, and it also gives us like a sense of a type of a new generation being born, or a new type of individual that's seeing the light and where fintech and cryptocurrency is currently going. And obviously, the word nomad refers to as what in history, us as humans and our history 10,000 or more from the beginning, we were nomads, hunting and traveling around, trying, just to stay alive and building. And I think back then humans had a lot of freedom and to move around. So that's more or less where we started building on the concept and the word around new nomad. And the meaning of the actual word, a new nomad. What is a new nomad? So that resonated with us, because if you combine the two words, a new nomad is a person that, how can I put it? It's an individual whose movements are governed as much by work obligations, and by their desire to change their relationship with the world as they know it. It's also a person or an individual without a fixed sense of belonging that can move freely, a digital nomad, a geared individual that can do their work, their finance, their banking, their investments, everything from the palm of their hand with a cell phone. So that's the direction how we went into it and started building this brand and got the name behind it. And obviously, our whole vision here and our aim is to build an ecosystem that's inclusive to everybody, because at this stage, I think there's around 1.7 billion people in this globe that's underbanked, not invested, that don't have access to any form of proper yielding investment or saving. And we actually want to create a system or an ecosystem where those people can tap into. We believe the developing countries is a major white space that we can attack, where we can build out on, especially in Africa. There's a lot of opportunities. South America, India, those type of countries. We're definitely not forgetting the first world, Europe, USA, which is our current base, but those are invested people. So obviously we will be serving the banked and invested, but as well as the underbanked people, which is very important to us. So yeah.
And thank you for breaking down the name, the new Nomad. I think it's a really cool way to explain what you're ultimately going for and how you're going to be helping a lot of these people, especially the unbanked. So, the NeoNomad ecosystem is multi-chained. It was developed by Nomads for Nomads, and you're trying to bridge the gap between centralized finance and decentralized finance. So by creating this parallel economy, you have different things like the Nomad pads, swaps and DEX, the Age DeFi, and a bunch of other of these tools. Can you kind of break down some of these different tools that NeoNomad ecosystems starting to incorporate?
Yeah, so let me start with our multi-chain ecosystem. We recently launched our bridge, the Nomad bridge, about 2-3 weeks ago. And we're actually very proud of that product because it's something we built from scratch. And there's other bridges out there as well, I might know that. But we're proud on ours. And that enables our members or potential investors to choose what, the blockchain of their preference. If you're on Ethereum, that's great. If you're on Binance Smart Chain, or BSC, that's great. Solana, we built on Solana, that's good. So we're trying to involve everybody because I believe that there's not one blockchain necessarily greater than the other. They all have certain benefits and features that's great. So we're trying to include that. So whether you want to bridge between BSC or Solana Ethereum, we currently give that option. We're very excited to add Avalanche and Polygon to our bridge soon. That's definitely good. Our staking went live together with our listing on PancakeSwap. That went fairly well. We've got 4 different tiers of staking currently, developing hard on, apart from your APY that you can earn staking for 30 days or 3 months or 6 months or a year. We're building in further rewards to our staking tiers where if you have 2,000 NNI, that NNI is our native currency, by the way. So if you have 2,000 NNI staked with us, you reach the first level, which is the Wanderer, for instance. The moment you reach that level, you'll receive an NFT in your wallet. That NFT will give you certain access to and benefits to features within our ecosystem. And the tiers go up, staking 20,000 to 100,000 and 200,000 to receive a different NFT that gives you access to different rewards and benefits. Very excited about that. But I'd say mainly what's important to me about this whole ecosystem, and I have to say this, is from a traditional finance perspective. I know Warren Buffett, he made a lot of noise recently saying that, he won't even buy all the Bitcoin in the world for $5 or something like that, which I believe is a very, it's not, I don't agree with that statement. But what I do agree with him is that there's a lot of how can I put it, instruments or products or coins flying out there currently in the crypto space that really I don't see where the value comes from. I find it difficult to find any intrinsic value with a lot of things currently in this space, which brings me to the point that one of our major things is to bring real world assets to the digital space. And with real world assets, I mean tokenizing sustainable and profitable businesses, like agricultural businesses, for instance. That's where our ag DeFi comes in, because where the world is currently going, food scarcity is a major problem for me. That might become a major problem. The cost of our food, we're facing hyperinflation and. So food security is very important to us. So tokenizing sustainable, profitable agricultural businesses gives the investor the opportunity to actually invest in in these businesses, buying tokens, earning decent return on their money. But at the same time, they're assisting us to protect our future food in a sustainable way. That's the first thing. The second thing, we value gold and silver quite highly. So launching our gold and silver backed NFTs, we're very excited about that, especially in times that you're witnessing now. That's also why I was very passionate starting and building this business as fast as I can. From 2008, you all know what happened in 2008 with the financial crash. Central banks started printing money. It's almost as if I can still hear those printers printing money, the noise of it cracking down, and keeping interest rates as low as possible, just sent us in a complete wrong direction globally. And if you track back in history, there's societies, empires, countries that went to war for gold. Gold has stood the test of times now for I don't know how many hundreds of years, and I don't think that will ever go away. If you take Zimbabwe as a example, I just heard today and yesterday that they're going back to accepting gold as payment, so you can purchase gold tokens in Zimbabwe and exchange them now for USD, which is apparently very scarce in Zimbabwe. So that also shows you that if the traditional system or monetary value as we know it completely fails, what does the world do? They go back to gold. So we're excited about bringing our gold and silver and later on palladium NFTs to the market. We will be selling them as 1 gram, 10 gram, 20 gram, 1 ounce, 50 gram, and 100 gram NFTs. That's actually backed by a physical bar that's in a vault either in Singapore or in the UK. Investors will also be able to purchase into our pooled gold that we hold. So you'll be able to buy gold. If you have $5, you can buy a portion of it. If you have $5 million, you can buy gold. So that's one thing we were very excited about. And then Nomad Pad is our official launch pad, where we will obviously bring sustainable and profitable businesses, small to medium-sized businesses, even to large global entities that would like to tokenize their businesses to raise funds and expand from there. We're collaborating and partnered with a lot of industry experts that will be assisting us in our due diligence of these companies or businesses that will be launching from our launchpad. So that's one aspect of giving your underbanked and underinvested investor or individual access to investing in proper companies. Going through the whole process now of buying stocks on the stock exchange, or even going to a hedge fund or a bank to invest your money. A lot of people don't have the necessary KYC or documents, or they cannot fulfill the minimum investment requirement. Go to a fund, your minimum investment is $10,000, $100,000, or even $1 million. So we try to give the guy on the street that's got $20 or $50 or $100 or $1,000 to invest the opportunity to invest and diversify their investments and their savings to to start growing their lives and become, have equal opportunity with the rest of the world.
Absolutely. So NeoNomad is approaching a lot of different things. I just want to bring all that back. So one of the first ways that people can come in and use NeoNomad, y'all are creating asset-backed NFTs. So diversifying your portfolio with precious metals and having a way to have that securely be invested in through that model. You also have staking, which is another way that people would be able to make some of the money, whether you put in different thresholds, you put up your money and then you get rewarded back in the token through APY, annual percentage yield. And you're doing your NeoNomad pad, which is going to be your launch pad, which is going to allow for certain projects to be able to launch within the NeoNomad ecosystem. So you're putting a lot of different things in place so that your everyday NeoNomad can come in, make investments, and be diversified into particular subsects that the rest of the world usually doesn't have access to. So I personally come from traditional finance as well, and one of the first things I noticed in wealth management was how is it that only the top echelon of people get access to all these different ways to make money. And what's awesome about Web3 in what you're doing at NeoNomad and providing these DeFi types of opportunities is you're allowing a lot of these unique opportunities to be accessible to anyone. And have a lower threshold to be able to get into them and to participate. So I think all of that is really cool. And I can definitely see the passion on wanting to provide access to everyone. And on that kind of same train of thought, I know that you want to, or I have a really good inkling to want to bring access to the masses. How do you think DeFi and what y'all are doing at Nomad is going to continue to provide that access to those who typically don't get it?
Well, one thing that was very successful in Africa, and I'll track back later on about one important feature to our ecosystem as well, which is Nomad Pay, which will be our integrated digital banking solution to the ecosystem. But M-Pesa launched in, I think it was 2017 or 2018 in Kenya, which was basically the first fintech company in Africa. They were actually the first in the world, I think, that tapped into the third world market. And they were fairly successful at that. And their rationale or idea behind it is, well, you should effectively be able to access all of your finance and investments, and you should be able to run your own life actually from a cell phone, from a mobile phone. So if you have a mobile phone, you should be able to access these investments. And DeFi made it incredibly easy for individuals in third world countries that owns a mobile phone to access these investments as well. Now, what makes it easier is that they don't have to comply with all these stringent requirements that you have to provide to be able to make an investment in an instrument or a product or even banking, For some of those people, it's impossible to open a bank account because you have to provide this, you have to provide that, you have to deposit a minimum of $500 or $1,000 into this bank account to be able before you can even transact. Transaction fees are exuberant, and so owning a cell phone, and a lot of people in Africa, I can tell you one thing. I don't know as much in the smaller third world countries, but Argentina, Brazil, India, Africa, almost 90% of individuals own a mobile phone. So I believe access through mobile phones to DeFi is massive. And I think looking at previous cases like M-Pesa and some of the other companies that's accessed Africa now, they've been fairly successful at that.
Yeah. The world is mobile. There's a whole generation that kind of went like to this gigantic gap towards focusing on mobile. And when you think about the access to where people are having this, how do you create that user experience and the user interface to make being able to do a lot of these complex, at times, types of transactions available to everyone. And so looks like y'all been able to package this in such a way to where it is mobile first, mobile focused, and can provide a lot of this, and also goes into payments. So I know that you have the Nomad Pay. Can you kind of explain what that is?
Yeah, so Nomad Pay, it's got a few sections within itself. So I'll first start with the simple one, our crypto-based payment solution, which is Nomad Pay, but that's built on Solana Pay. So that will, if you have a cell phone and you understand how Solana Pay functions, that gives you access to immediate payments. Then we've got Nomad Pay Visa X, which is a debit card linked to your wallet. It's part of our DEX. So if your wallet, as an example, if you're holding 100 Bitcoin in your wallet, and your card's connected to your wallet, any country globally where Visa is accepted, if you draw cash at an ATM or whether you swipe your card at point of sale, if you're in Canada and you swipe your card at point of sale, it automatically converts from Bitcoin to Canadian dollars, and the transaction happens. Transactional fees are minimal again. It's not like in traditional banking where you're getting slammed with exuberant transactional costs and debit card fees and all sorts of that. So we're very excited about Visa X, and then comes Nomad Pay, how can I call it, for lack of a better word, the granddaddy of our whole payment ecosystem, which will be the fully integrated digital banking solution that we hope to launch in the first quarter of 2023. That will enable users to, if you have a Nomad Pay account, you'll have 10 or 20 sub-current multi-currency accounts, USD, Euro, Japanese yen, Swiss franc, all the majors. You'll be able to connect your wallet to the platform and seamlessly switch or swap between fiat and crypto to fiat. You'll also be able to have access to our digital banking platform, which is, I believe, an innovative lending solution, where you'll be able, if you're holding gold NFTs, we'll have the functionality to block your NFT in your wallet, and you can borrow against that value up to 50 or 60% of the value of gold you're holding. That funds, you can take the funds, you can place it on our staking platform, on our yield farming platform. There'll be a time limit to it. So you can earn your APY over 30 days, 60 or 90 days, make your money, return it to us. We will obviously charge a fee on that, unlock your NFT back to you once we've received our money back. And yeah, that's very excited about that. Different functionalities. You'll be able to send and receive SWIFT and SEPA payments. Also, for a few different tiers of debit cards that we'll be supplying. So it's a full suite, fully integrated digital banking solution. But the major frustration over the past 2, 3, or 4 years for me was literally buying crypto, selling crypto, doing transfers. It was quite a painful experience, and I hope that we'll be fixing the solution by launching Nomad Pay. I know there's a lot of other solution and competitors out there as well, which we value our competitors because, and a lot of them have great products, but still, I think in doing things a bit differently, making it more robust, easy to understand for the general guy on the street. At this stage, we might feel that, the crypto industry and fintech is moving too fast and expanding. But I believe that it's because we're in the middle of the rabbit hole. And there's still so many people out there that don't understand it, that don't know about it. And I think we can simplify things, our front ends, our banking solutions, and even if it means that we have to change certain words or phrases into easier understandable wording or phrases for the community out there, we do it. And I think it's important.
Definitely. And I think as we continue to make things more accessible, easy user onboarding, and access to a lot of real world banking solutions that the majority of the world still doesn't have, this is solving a lot of those major challenges. So for someone who's listening to this, they're really excited about it and they want to be able to get involved. What you can do first is go to neonomad.finance. But what are some other ways that people can connect and learn more about everything that NeoNomad has going on?
We're currently also in a rebranding phase. Um, we were quite not anxious, but I believe in building as you go. It's sometimes not a great idea if you stand back and wait to launch a business or a product or an instrument at the point where you feel it's ready or perfect. I think you'll never launch it. It will take time and you'll waste time. Time to market's very important. So we went about it with let's create or do our branding. Let's start off somewhere and go live and build by feedback that we get from our community. We value our community and our members. They're part of this ecosystem. You can't talk inclusivity, but then exclude people from, at the end of the day, it's the members that's using the product that must like it. So we went through a bit of a feedback loop and got to the point where we started working with Idea Sky in Canada to build our brand. And we're basically ready to launch our complete rebranding package in the next, I'd say, 3 weeks. Very excited about it. New website, new look and feel. I think that people will like it. And if you log on to neonomad.finance now, you'll still see the old branding. But please watch out for our new branding. We also, one thing I have to mention that we are quite excited about is launching multi-chain staking functionality. So you'll be able to stake your coins and stake our NNI, having the comfort of being able to do that multi-chain. So that's something to watch out for, I'd say, in the near future.
Excellent. Well, everyone, you heard it.
Also, people can join our Telegram channels, our NeoNomad official Telegram. We're also on Twitter, Discord.
Perfect. Well, everyone, make sure you go check out and join the community. Hanres, thank you for dropping all the information. You're giving us a lot to think about. But what's a final thought that you want to leave with everyone here today?
Well, firstly, I'm going to say again that we as NeoNomads are very, very excited about what the future holds for us. Even in the current bearish market, we start. I chat to a lot of people every day that's very don't want to use the word depressed, but down and out. Even guys in the system that's busy building exchanges and ecosystems. But we see it differently. I don't see this changing. We've been through, 3 or 4 cycles already of what we're currently experiencing. I think people tend to forget history. So just track back a little bit and go see what's happening there, feel positive. But NeoNomad's very excited in terms of where we're going. We would love our members to join in. We'll soon launch a club where you can purchase a NeoNomad Club NFT that will give you access to groups where you actually participate in making decisions with us, having a voice, bringing new projects to our platform, creating new instruments if it's innovative. So we're going to really, really include everyone out there in building this ecosystem. I also want to mention Linktree as well, to join that. And yes, I would how can I put it? I truly think that if you look back in 10 years, if you look back at now, and you didn't get involved somehow into crypto or fintech, look back 10 years already now. If you bought Bitcoin in 2012, where will you be now? And I don't think it's going to change. I even think we haven't even reached the first 5 or 10% where we're going. So I'm going to say it again and again to people, get in now. The time is now. In 5 to 10 years from now on, it's just going to get not more difficult, but I think it's a life-changing opportunity to get in now and just hold on and see where we're going in the next 5 to 10 years.
Definitely. Crypto is here. It's the future. And there's a lot of exciting things to be bullish on the future. So, Hanres, again, thank you so much for spending time with us. Thank you for all the information you've shared. And of course, for everyone listening, stay cryptocurrent.